What's going on? Ryan Troy back with another video for you today. And in this video, I'll be giving you 5 tips on how to grow your photography business in 2021. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button for all things photography related. And if you already subscribed, make sure you hit that like button so that way this video could be shared to more people. Helps the channel, helps the algorithm. Now let's get into it. If you have a successful photography business already, make sure you watch this as well. And if it's anything that I leave out, make sure you leave that in the comment section below. We're here to help out photographers, whether you're new or experienced on starting your photography business. Now, there's a lot of photographers out there that are really good, but they just struggle with this part of it. So with that, let's go into the first tip. Your logo defines your brand, and it's the first thing that potential clients will see. If your logo looks like it was done in the Paint app, then it'll come across as being unprofessional. And when someone sees that logo, they'll take your work as being unprofessional as well. It's extremely important for you to give off this professional feel. Now, the next thing you also want is for your logo to be more memorable. You don't want it to be too distracting. You want it simple, minimalistic, something that as soon as someone sees it, they know this is your brand. Now, the place that I recommend for you to get your logo design will be Fiverr. I've gotten all of my logos designed from Fiverr, from my photography to my YouTube to my podcast, all of that through Fiverr. The best part about Fiverr is you get to choose the artists you want to work with based off of your style and your project needs. You can get your work revised as many times as you like, and if you don't like the final outcome, you can always get your money back. I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description below so you can check it out. The next thing will be website. One of the most important things to have is a professional website. We all use social media to upload our photos, but one thing that places like Facebook and Instagram do is compress our photos. Now, when they do that, it takes away from the quality of our photos. Now, I uploaded a video on how to export your photos in Photoshop to be able to upload them for them to have the least bit of compression, but it still is compressed. Now, when we have our own website, we're able to upload our photos so the potential clients can see the high res images. That is important because they need to know what their photos are going to look like as well. Another important part about having your own website is we cannot control what Instagram, Facebook, or any of the others will do. We don't know if they will be around in the next 5 years. We don't know if they'll be around tomorrow. Their guidelines are always changing. Maybe some photo you want to post don't meet with their guidelines and you can't post it. Well, when you have your own website, that's one thing that you don't have to worry about. You get to control exactly what everyone will see. The design part of your website is also very crucial. You want your website to be more minimalistic and easy on the eye. Keep in mind that when people view your website, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be coming from a smartphone. So although you may design your website on a computer, keep in mind that people will be looking at the mobile version of it. So make sure that you look at that while designing it. Most sites that offers domains usually offers business email addresses as well. If I was you, I would invest in that. Remember, we want to look professional as possible. We can justify our prices when we come off as a business instead of coming off as a person that can take cool photos. The sooner you take your profession serious, the sooner others will as well. Which brings us to our next tip. Now, before I get into this, it's important that I state I'm not a lawyer. This is only my advice. So don't let what I do or say get you sued. There are different laws in different states, so make sure you do your research before getting into this. With that being said, registering your photography as a business is something very important to do. It protects you as a person. Let's say something happened on the shoot. Let's say someone fell and they had a broken leg, right? If your photography business wasn't registered, that person could come after you to be responsible for the medical expenses. Now, if you don't have it, they can also come after your possessions. The best part about having an LLC or making your photography a business, registering it as a business, is if that same situation happened, then your photography business is what's held accountable. You have nothing to worry about as far as losing your personal belongings. It could put your business into bankruptcy, but at least they can't take your house, they can't touch your car, they can't touch any of your personal belongings. You can also get business insurance, which is great for things like what I just spoke about, but also for protecting your gear. Let's say your camera, your lenses, your lights. If anything gets stolen, trust me, it's a lifesaver. You don't have to worry about dishing all of that money out. You just pay a little deductible and they will cover the rest. Now, one of the most important reasons to register your photography as a business is so you could get a business bank account. Now, it is important to never mix the money that comes in from photography with your personal spending and personal income. You want to have that separate for tax reasons. And when you get into that part, write-offs is something that will really help you. When you go to a session and you pump gas, you can write that off. If you eat on the way or from going to that session, you can write that off. If you use your home, whether it's an apartment, whether it's a house, whether you have a mortgage, and you work at home, whether it's from editing photos or even taking photos at home, you can write part of your mortgage or rent off. Now, I'll probably go into a future video on that. If you're interested in that, just let me know, and I can let you know of all of the things you'll be able to write off to pretty much make it seem like you're not really paying taxes, although you will pay taxes unless you got a lot of things you could write off. I'll let you know how to do that. Just leave that down in the comment section below. Let's get into the next tip. Having a strong social media presence is something that's very important, and I'll explain why. Social media is the new business card. Business cards used to be one of the only ways people knew our business existed. Word of mouth will always be the number one way we will get business. And when we used to hand our card around, we was hoping that if someone needed a photographer, that person would have that card and recommend you. Now, with social media involving the way that it is, it's kind of killing the whole point of needing a business card. Because if someone needs a photographer, all they have to do is share your profile. And the best part about it is you can show people that you exist by posting. So the more you post, the more you remind people, hey, I actually follow a photographer. And the best part about this as well is, let's say you gave your business card to someone and they saw what your work looked like in, let's say, 2017. Well, now we're in 2021 and your work has evolved. Now, that person doesn't really know that. All they know is what your work looked like when you gave them that business card. But with social media, people can see your progress. People can see where you started. People can see where you are now. It's important to use social media the right way. You don't want to post random things to your business social media account that could possibly offend people. You never know what subjects can make people feel certain ways, so make sure you have a personal Instagram or Facebook account that you can post things like that on. We want to get potential future clients, and we can't do that if we're shooting ourselves in the foot by posting things that we have strong feelings about, not knowing who you will hurt or offend. If you're not having growth on social media, it's probably because you're not being social. You have to put your pride aside. Don't worry about how many people follow you compared to how many you follow. That's not important. You need to reach out to people, even if they choose not to follow you. If you keep interacting on their posts, then maybe one day they'll come over to your page, they'll see your stuff, and they may give you a follow. Or if someone needs a photographer, they could be like, hey, it's this photographer that's always writing on my stuff. I like his work, and she may share your stuff. I had people that I did work for that never followed me and really loved my stuff, but they didn't follow me because they had like 10,000 followers and they only were following like 50 people. Remember, this is not a popularity contest. All we care about is getting clients. Anything else that comes with that, great. If not, this is a business for us, so we need to treat it as such. Now, for the final tip, families. And by families, I'm not talking about your family. I'm not talking about my family. I'm talking about client families. Now, when we first started photography, especially portraits, we had these dreams of seeing our stuff in magazines and on billboards, and we love to shoot models. So what do? We shoot a lot of models and we advertise to a lot of models so they could book us. But the problem with this is there are a lot of photographers out there that don't mind shooting models for free. So you kind of already have that working against you. So focus on families. If I was you, I would focus on doing portraits for families. And the best thing about this is if they ever have a friend, let's say they post a picture to Facebook, they'll have somebody contact them. Hey, I really love that photo. Where did you get it from? they will give your information out. Then you work with that family, and then when the same thing happens, and then you go to another family and the same thing happens, and then next thing you know, you just have 12, 13 different families that's booking you constantly for portraits, senior portraits, family portraits, Thanksgiving photos, Christmas photos. This will never end. Ever. You will stay booked forever. And if you have to do a mini session, being like a session where you don't charge that much, but you do a little bit of time just to make sure you get in with that family, go ahead on and do it. We do a whole lot of TFP, a whole lot of free shoots anyway. So if you have someone willing to pay you just a little bit of money, make sure you do the best job you can. Don't go into it with that attitude like I'm going to give them what they pay for. No, go above and beyond. And the reason why is because the family is where us photographers make majority of our money. People that do people like wedding photographers, they have this covered already. I mean, they have a reception with like hundreds of people, and they can pass their business card or their social media out. And when the clients see their work and when their friends see their work, now they're getting booked for other things from just people at that reception. So that's one thing that I would say focus on. Make sure you focus on portraits, events, any type of family type of event. It is great to have families. That is going to make you majority of your money. And just for a little secret, anytime you see a magazine with a model in there or whatever, just know the photographer probably got paid, but the model got paid as well. The people that's going to be booking you is going to be companies. So advertising your things to models is never really the best thing, because somebody else usually pay the price for the photographer and the price for the model. So with that being said, those are my 5 tips on how to grow your business in 2021. Now, if you made it this far, make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like if you felt this helpful. Only if you felt this helpful. If you didn't, don't leave a dislike, just bounce. But let me stop. If there's anything you feel like I missed, if you want to help other photographers, as always, let's have a discussion in the comment section. As you all know, I answer all of my comments, and I will see you guys later. Peace.